10 News begins with breaking news.
Our breaking news is out of Escondido, where an officer was involved in a shooting. I'm Virginia Chung.
I'm Jason Martinez. Let's go right now live to 10 News reporter Jessica Chen, who is near Valley Parkway. Jessica.
That's right. We're told police officers shot a man inside one of the houses here on James Street. Now, right now, police still have this area blocked off as they continue to investigate. Now, we're told police first arrived to the house around 7 this morning after they got a call of an elderly woman dead inside. They say her death did not seem suspicious, but when they arrived, officers were confronted by a man inside who had a gun. Police say that man, who appears to be related to the elderly woman, threatened officers with his gun, and that's when they shot him about 3 to 4 times. Now, right now, it's still unclear the circumstances surrounding this case, but we're told by police that this does not appear to be related to the shooting in Escondido that happened about 3 days ago. Now, right now, we're going to stay here. We're trying to gather some more information, and we'll have an update for you as soon as we get it. For now, reporting in Escondido, Jessica Chen, 10 News.
All right, Jessica, thank you. And we have a breaking news update from Tierra Santa, where a 16-year-old boy saw his friend struck and killed.
So upset. The driver took off from that scene on Santo Road. Let's get to 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala, who's live in Tierra Santa, with just how concerned neighbors are. The second time there's been this accident on that road in this year.
Virginia, Jason, they tell me that this road has become so dangerous because people just don't follow the speed limit here. It's 45 miles an hour and they just zoom up and down this street, and there are schools surrounding the entire street. Neighbors say they're devastated to hear this is the second time this is happening again. And just before midnight, 2 16-year-old boys were walking on Santo Road when a black four-door car came speeding in the same direction. One friend was able to jump onto the center median and avoid the car, but the other didn't make it. He was hit and killed, and the driver never even slowed down. Several witnesses pulled over to try to help. One man on a motorcycle actually had a GoPro camera attached to his helmet and possibly captured the driver responsible. Police now using that footage to try to track that driver down. About 1.5 miles down the street, though, there was a memorial. February of 2016, 10-year-old Raquel Rossetti was hit and killed by a driver who also never stopped. Jacqueline Sorbin has lived here for 32 years and says people need to realize how dangerous this is becoming.
From 52 past the school, the elementary school, people just go way too fast. We have a lot of schools and so a lot of teenagers, yeah.
Police are still looking for that black four-door car with the missing driver's side mirror. If you have any information, you're asked to call them. We're going to keep an eye on this investigation and bring you updates as we learn more. For now, reporting live in Tierra Santa, Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Thank you, Mimi. Happening now, upsetting testimony about the young man charged with raping one woman and killing another in Del Cerro.
Eduardo Torres is accused of a home invasion break-in. 10 News reporter Jared Aarons is live downtown. And Jared, we learned more today about how violent that attack was.
A very rough day in court. This morning we learned that Ut Nguyen was killed when Torres allegedly stabbed her in the neck. Her main artery on her left side was nearly cut in half. It was part of a vicious attack that has Torres now facing charges including murder, rape, and even kidnapping. Torres couldn't even watch. In fact, he covered his eyes this morning in court as a medical examiner showed explicit pictures of nearly 30 cuts and stab wounds and half a dozen blunt force bruises to Nguyen's body. We also saw what looked like recent scars on Torres's arm in court today, although no one has told us where those came from. Police say Torres broke into Nguyen's home in early June, stabbed her, and raped another woman in the house. He was arrested that night after a standoff. And today was the third day of testimony in the preliminary hearing. Last month, we heard from the other victim, the woman who says she was raped. Through an interpreter, she described the attack.
The mom kept saying, "Please let me go. I'm old." I could not tell, but she kept saying that. She was hurting and she was bleeding.
Because of how violent this attack is, Torres is eligible for the death penalty. The district attorney told me today they haven't decided whether they will seek that. A judge will decide later today if he'll face trial. Live downtown, Jared Aarons, 10 News.
Jared, thank you. A developing story in the South Bay this midday. Some upset parents contacted 10 News after they received a letter from the principal at Olympian High School in Chula Vista. Now, the letter says the school, Sweetwater Union High School District, and Chula Vista police investigated an apparent threat against the school. But the letter said the threat was, quote, completely unsubstantiated and there's no real danger. Well, several parents were upset the letter came after the investigation instead of when the threat was made. We're taking a closer look at the district's procedures for later editions of 10 News.
Happening today, nearly 1,000 San Diego Unified employees will be receiving pink slips that could mean they'll lose their jobs. At Hage Elementary in Mira Mesa, the entire PE program is on the chopping block. Without it, the children won't spend as much time on the playground or on the fields. Other schools will see similar cuts as the district tries to make up for a $124 million deficit. Many employees who could be laid off are in disbelief.
I don't even know what to say. This will be the second time I've been laid off in this district since 2008. I don't know what else to do.
The district says it has to cut the budget because it's not getting enough money from the state. It's possible some jobs will be saved after the governor releases the budget later this spring. The district is also slashing dozens of special needs programs and employees, but they say it's not because of the budget. District administrators say a total of 29 moderate to severe special needs classes are being cut. That means 53 full-time special needs employees will be laid off. The district says the cuts are due to low enrollment. We spoke to some parents who are not happy about this no matter the reason.
I have been fighting it and I will continue to fight it. I have spoken to the school board, I have spoken to the CAC, I have had meetings. You know, I'm just hearing a lot of no.
The district says special needs positions getting cut include therapy assistants, psychologists, and out-of-class teachers. Meanwhile, San Diego Unified Superintendent Cindy Martin joined us right here on set live to talk about these cuts. She says students will be protected even with all these layoffs.
We're going to have our core class sizes next year remain the same. The major decisions that we made are about cutting at administrative levels, so district office positions and cabinet level positions.
Martin told us she has also asked the school board to reduce her salary to help with the deficit. As for the bonds and the propositions that voters have passed over the years, Martin says that bond money only goes to capital improvement, not to pay salaries.
New today, a man is in jail accused of beating his 87-year-old father. It happened at a home in Claremont around 11 last night. Our 10 News breaking news tracker was there as emergency workers rolled the father out of that home and into an ambulance. Police say Charles Duvall beat his father with his fists and a crowbar while the father was sleeping. They say Duvall then called 911 himself and waited. Police have not said why the son did it. Breaking news update, a man is now facing murder charges after a body was found at a construction site in Oceanside. Police say 30-year-old Mikhail Schmidt was arrested last night. They say he's the sole suspect in this homicide investigation. The body of 37-year-old Jacob Bravo was found yesterday morning. Police say there were obvious signs of trauma. They say the motive is still unclear.
Well, this just into the 10 News Live Center. Marine Corps Commandant General Bob Neller just gave an update to the nude photo scandal. Naked pictures of the female troops who were secretly posted online. Now, this is actually an article that we posted just a few days ago. Now, Neller reached out to the Marines who may be involved.
For those Marines that are watching this or listening or may have been involved in this, if you're participating in this type of behavior in any way, shape, or form, you're not helping me or your Marine Corps. And I'd ask you to reconsider your participation in any sort of behavior like this.
Well, no one has been arrested and the Pentagon isn't sure how many victims there were. The NCIS is conducting a criminal investigation. It wants any more potential victims to come forward, and we do have a link on our website where you can report it to 10news.com. It's right under that red TV button. In the Live Center, I'm Kalina Estrinos. Back to you.
Thank you, Kalina. Happening now, doctors are in San Diego to look for links between sports injuries and the brain disease known as CTE. The Scripps Health Brain Injury Rehab Conference is happening near Mission Bay. Dr. Robert Stern is leading the National Institutes of Health study to diagnose CTE in NFL players. Now, right now, it can only be diagnosed after death. That was the case with Chargers great Junior Seau after he took his own life in 2012. Doctors discovered later that he had CTE.
A developing story: FBI Director James Comey rushed to Capitol Hill to meet with top lawmakers for a classified meeting on national security. They've been demanding to see any proof President Trump's claims that President Obama planted bugs in Trump Tower. ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington with the latest.
FBI Director James Comey called to Capitol Hill to meet with congressional leaders, the so-called Gang of Eight. The series of top-secret briefings concerning national security. On the list, Russia's interference in the 2016 election and President Trump's explosive allegations President Obama ordered wiretaps at Trump Tower.
The evidence that President Obama ordered a wiretap at Trump Tower.
Director Comey, who has privately asked the Justice Department to refute the claims, staying tight-lipped about the meeting. But afterwards, Senator Mark Warner speaking up, telling ABC News he's seen no evidence of wiretapping. Another issue with extraordinary national security implications, the alleged massive breach of top CIA secrets revealed by WikiLeaks. Hundreds of documents, the leakers say, revealed the agency's ability to use smartphones, computers, and even TVs to spy on targets.
This is a historic act of devastating incompetence.
Meanwhile, the war rages on over health care reform. Next week, the Congressional Budget Office expected to release estimates of how much the bill will cost and how many Americans will be impacted. But Republicans already saying those estimates may not be right.
This is the time we're going to get it done. We're working together. We have some great results. We have tremendous spirit. And I think it's something that's just going to happen very shortly.
President Trump tweeting about the new report that shows 235,000 jobs added in his first month. But DNC Chair Tom Perez says thanks Obama, adding that Trump, quote, has had about as much to do with job growth since January 20th as he does with the Washington Wizards winning record. Absolutely nothing. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.